Abu al-Rayhan Muhammad ibn Ahmad al-Biruni was one of the most learned Muslim scholars and scientists of his day. His interests were very wide as he labored in almost all branches of the known scientific spectrum. His literary work includes a wide range of subjects, from applied theoretical mathematics to pharmacology, geology, mineralogy, and history. He was a polymath with a free-ranging and formidable intellect. Not only did he make significant breakthroughs as a philosopher, mathematician, and astronomer, but he also left his mark as a theologian, encyclopedist, linguist, historian, pharmacist, physician, traveler, and a geographer. Al-Biruni spent many years studying in India, its people, its languages, its faith, its cultures, and its castes. He learned Sanskrit and took extensive notes, which were later published by the year 1030 under the title of Tahqiq Mal al-Hind, in what is now considered the most authoritative written account of medieval India. Famously, having developed the mathematics of trigonometry, he was able to measure the circumference of the earth within a few miles. The only other intellectual figure in history whose legacy rivals the scope of Al-Biruni's scholarship was Leonardo da Vinci.
Do you want it? Gardens of paradise in heaven. Eden, garden of paradise. Do you want it? Gardens of paradise in heaven. Have you ever wished for a life full of joy? No sorrow, no sadness, no pain and no toil. Have you ever wished for an everlasting life companion?
Welcome to new video. We upload informational videos daily. Make sure to subscribe us. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, link is in description. Let's jump to video. Al-Biruni was born in September 5, 973 in Khwarezm. His first 25 years were spent in Khwarezm, where he studied fiqh, theology, grammar, mathematics, astronomy, medics and other sciences. The end of the 10th century was the age of the social unrest in Islamic world. Thus in 995, he left for Bukhara, and in 998 he went to the court of the Ziyarid Emir of Tabaristan, where he wrote his first important work, Al-Athar al-Baqiyya and Al-Quran al-Kaliya, on historical and scientific chronology. In 1017, Al-Biruni was taken to Ghazna by Mahmud Ghaznavi. Biruni was made court astrologer. After Indian invasion, he was sent to India for a few years, where Biruni became familiar with all things related to India, even Sanskrit. During this time he wrote the Kitab Tariq al-Hind, around 1030. Al-Biruni was one of the greatest scholars of the medieval Islamic era and who contributed to physics, mathematics and astronomy, geography, pharmacology, mineralogy, history, chronology, religion and ideology. He was aware of different languages: Persian, Arabic, Sanskrit, Greek, Hebrew, Syriac and Berber. He recorded observations of his travels of India in his book Kitab al-Hind, which gives an account of the historical and social conditions of the subcontinent. He translated 2 Sanskrit books into Arabic. He regarded the Indus Valley as an ancient sea basin. On his return from India, Al-Biruni wrote his famous book Qanan-i-Masudi, in which he discussed several theorems of astronomy, trigonometry, solar, lunar, and planetary motions and relative topics. His other book Al-Athar al-Baqiyya was account of ancient history of nations, with geography. In this book he also discussed the rotation of the Earth and has given correct values of latitudes and longitudes of various places. He also wrote the Kitab al-Saydana, about medics. His book the Kitab al-Jamahir deals with the properties of various precious stones. Al-Biruni discussed, centuries before the rest of the world, that the Earth rotates around its axis or. His book Al-Tafhim li Awal Sina'a al-Tanjim gives a summary of mathematics and astronomy. He was the first to undertake experiments related to astronomical phenomena, which laid down the early foundation of modern science and astronomy. He explained the working of normal springs and artesian wells by the hydrostatic principle of communicating vessels. He observed that flowers have 3, 4, 5, 6, or 18 petals, but never 7 or 9. His important work was the method of determining the radius and circumference of the Earth. Al-Biruni wrote about 200 books and made a few instruments for astronomy. The illustrating method proposed and used by Al-Biruni to estimate the radius and circumference of the Earth laid the foundation of modern astronomy and became the base of astronomy. Al-Biruni was a pioneer in the study of comparative religion. He studied Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Hinduism, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, and other religions. In Tariq al-Hind, he explored every aspect of Indian life, including religion, history, geography, geology, science, and mathematics. He has been considered as one of the very greatest scientists of Islam. His critical spirit, love of truth, and scientific approach were combined with a sense of toleration. He died in 1048 AD at the age of 75, after having spent 40 years in thus gathering knowledge and making his own original contributions to it. Make sure to subscribe us. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, link is in description.